Great things come to those who wait. You know, the cream always rise to the top. All the time, man, they blocked me out. They said I wouldn't fight nobody. I can't beat this dude. I can't beat that dude. Every time that I got a chance, I wiped the floor with him.
Terence Crawford is now a three-weight undisputed champion, having defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez by a unanimous decision, despite having jumped up 2 weight divisions to do so. Canelo started the fight well, landed good body work to do enough to nick rounds 1 and 2. However, Crawford never looked phased, and he grew into the fight in rounds 3 and 4, starting to land good counter-punches, as Canelo began to look uncomfortable. Rounds 5 through 8 were very close, and probably could have gone 2 either way, but I had Canelo 5-3 up going into the ninth. But it was from the 9th round that Crawford really took over. He landed a fantastic countering shot, and won the round clearly. He also won round 10, and in round 11, Canelo began to look really tired and very frustrated, as again Crawford landed with great work, including an uppercut and a countering backhand. Round 12 was particularly great from Bud, as he landed a great counter once again, and a big shot seemed to hurt Canelo towards the end of the round. If there had been a minute more, maybe Bud could have forced a stoppage. In the end, there was no doubt about the decision. I had Crawford winning 7 rounds to 5, and it could have been slightly wider. Crawford won the championship rounds comfortably. He achieved an amazing feat to beat a naturally much heavier man. Now at 42-0, there have been inevitable comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I think this win against Canelo is more special than anything Mayweather did, in terms of taking such a big risk and fighting a bigger man. There will also be inevitable comparisons for the pound for pound in this generation between him and Alexander Usyk. I find it almost impossible to split the two, due to how much they have both achieved in their own careers. Elsewhere in Belfast, there was a sizable upset, as Lewis Crocker defeated Paddy Donovan in their rematch. It was a very different approach from Crocker, as he was really patient and looked to counter Donovan on the way in. This proved successful with a flash knockdown in round 3 as Donovan was caught coming in with his hands down. Again, Crocker landed a brilliant countering shot in round 4, and would do so again in round 5, this time hurting Donovan really badly to force a knockdown. Crocker continued to be accurate in rounds 6 and 7, but the rounds were close. Again, rounds 8 and 9 were close, probably better for Donovan as he adjusted and grew into the fight. Crocker had a good round 10, again landing the cleaner shots. But Donovan ended the fight strong, but it wasn't enough in the end. There was a little bit of controversy about the decision, but I believe it was correct. And Crocker is now deservedly the IBF Welterweight Champion of the world. This likely puts Conor Benn in a position to fight for a world title once he returns to welterweight after his rematch versus Chris Eubank Jr. at middleweight. Whatever happens next, it was a fantastic night of boxing, as Terence Crawford cemented his legacy as the best fighter, maybe alongside Alexander Usyk of this generation, and definitely an all-time great as well. As for what's next for Canelo and Crawford, I'd like to see them both call it a day now. Realistically, there's nothing bigger than this for either of them. Both would have been paid amazingly due to the deal between Riyadh Season and Netflix. With Canelo now 35 and Crawford 37, they are well towards the end of their careers. I think it makes sense for them to walk away and maintain their health. Both have big families to take care of. Canelo in particular is clearly on the decline, with his speed and stamina being the main victims of this, and I think it's a great time to walk away for him. Both names will always be mentioned among the best of this generation, alongside Alexander Usyk, Naoya Inoue and Dimitri Bivol, arguably Crawford as the cream of the crop. Of course, it's massively difficult to walk away from boxing with how addictive it is for these champions, but it does feel like the end of a generation and time for a new crop to come through.